Introduction to solubility. And we're going to cover solubility much more in a later chapter, but we'll just give you a little hint of what's to come. Solubility is a property of a solid, liquid, or gaseous chemical substance called a solute to dissolve in a solid, liquid, or gaseous solvent. Now, intermolecular forces play a role in solubility. Why? Water is an excellent solvent for polar solutes such as ethanol, soluble ionic salts such as salt or potassium phosphate, etc., or polar gases like ammonia. Why? Well, the reason is that water is a polar molecule. Therefore, its hydrogen bonds are attracted to the charges in the solute, tending to be ions. So the negatively charged oxygen pole of water will pull on the positively charged, for instance in the case of NaCl, the positively charged sodium ion. And the positively charged hydrogen would be attracted to the chloride negative ion in NaCl. Therefore, the solvent, water, will pull the parts of the solute apart, making it dissolve into water. Fat-soluble vitamins dissolve best in nonpolar solvents, such as bile salts released from the liver. The structure for vitamin K is shown below. Do you think it is a fat-soluble or water-soluble vitamin? If we look at the structure, most of the structure is nonpolar. There might be a couple little poles here around the oxygens, but for the most part, this is a nonpolar compound. Therefore, we would expect use the guidance, you may have heard like dissolves like. Since vitamin K is mostly nonpolar and fat is nonpolar, we would expect that it would be fat soluble rather than water soluble. As explained in the answer, that is the case. Molecular polarity. Polarity greatly influences solubility. Polar solutes are more soluble or miscible in polar solvents, and nonpolar solutes are more soluble in nonpolar solvents. Again, this goes back to the old saying, like dissolves like. Many pigments used to create color in paints are nonpolar and require a nonpolar solvent such as hexane to dissolve. Many molecules have both nonpolar and polar regions and require an amphipathic solvent that also shares those qualities. Acetone is an excellent choice for those applications.